Hi, I'm Lorella. This is Plan B Orchard and Farm. Today we're going to take a full tour of the garden. It's been a long time since my last garden video. Things in here really look a lot different. Can't wait to show you. I am so proud and excited of this garden. Let's take a look at it bed by bed. Growing all along the fence line are potatoes growing on top of cardboard and under straw. It's a little bit of an experiment to see how well they do. I think it'll be a lot easier to harvest because I won't be digging in dirt. I'll just be pulling back straw. This first bed is carrots and radishes. Half of it has Danvers half-long and Chinese red meat radishes, and the other half is scarlet nantes with Saxon 2 radishes. And this bed I just scatter sowed, and they came in pretty thick, so I'm going to be doing a lot of thinning, I think. These are the Chinese red meat radishes, and they're all way down there under the soil and skinny. I wonder if they just grow long. Like this one's not crowded, but it's let's take a look at it. See, look at that. It doesn't even look like radish really. Maybe they're long skinny radishes. I'll have to look them up and see. But these over here, these have been really lovely. Actually, we've harvested several of these. Let me see if I can find one. So these are pretty little things. And actually, I just harvested the other day. We've got several that are much bigger than that, but they're really nice, pretty color. They're bright. They get nice and big. These are the Saxon 2, so I would definitely recommend these. Saxon 2 from Baker Creek. I had to laugh at myself when I looked these up because look at these pictures. Obviously, the radishes are not ready. I mean, come on. Yeah, I definitely need to thin out if I'm going to make space for these bad boys. This bed has two kinds of beets. It has a golden beet and, what's this other one here? This is a early wonder beet. They didn't come up very good. I think the soil might have been a little bit too compacted to start with. I might try growing some of the root veggies in buckets next year or in the lick tubs with some loose soil because my soil in the ground is pretty compacted. I'm working every year to loosen the soil and add to it and make it better, but I don't know. I just think I might try with the lick tubs and the root veggies and see if I get better results. These are empty lick tubs. Originally, they would have been full of minerals, and then farmers place them in the pastures for the cattle to lick at and get any additional minerals that they need that aren't readily available through the grass and other things that they eat. This bed also has spinach, and it has some carrots. I've got Swiss chard. I mean, that thing is ready to go, isn't it? Who wants some stir fry? Who wants a salad? This is a weed, but it's actually a beneficial weed. I think it's called maybe lamb's ear. I forget what it is. Somebody told me before. But it grows so much around here. It's more like a nuisance weed than anything else. So we've got Swiss chard doing good. There's a red one. A couple more red ones. Look at the color and the variation in that leaf. Isn't that pretty? I love it. I love all the colors in the garden. Oh, I think I might have another radish or something right here. What's this guy? What are you? You're big. Oh my goodness. How did you get past me? Look at this. Look at that. Look at the size of that one. Oh. There they are together. It's huge. Oh, look. I wonder if I just did that now or if something's had a snack of it. That's all right. We'll just cut around that part. This is the first onion bed that I planted. So I've got yellow, red, and white onions in this bed. And then I came around the outside and I planted some lettuce, kind of in the shade of the onions. And also thinking that the odor of the onions might dissuade some pests from attacking the lettuces. So we'll see how that works. I planted almost 70 strawberry plants in this garden bed. And this is the sole survivor right here. That's it. That's all I have to show. for the crowns that I planted. I don't know if they're going to come up or not. So I'm not sure whether I'm going to plant anything else in this bed and disturb the crowns or leave them a year. I mean, I don't know, because the weeds will take over. I guess I could just keep weeding it, but it seems like wasted space. So I might end up planting something in here after all. This is the second bed of onions that I planted, and they're doing okay. They're still growing. And then I came back and I planted kale, and mostly kale. Let me see, I've got like 16 or so kale plants in here. And then I also planted 3 broccoli plants. My understanding though is these 3 broccoli plants do not actually produce like the single big head of broccoli. They produce little broccoli florets. The kale's producing really well, and I've actually started harvesting it by just clipping off or pinching off the outer leaves and then leaving the inner leaves to grow, and that's working really well so far. So far I'm not seeing too much bug pressure on my kale or the broccoli or the spinach. Beets really. Last year was just crazy, but not this year, and I don't know if that's because of planting in the onions or if there are just fewer bugs this year. We also have a lot of plantain that grows here naturally on the farm, and I let them go to seed. I just take the leaves as I need them because they're so good for you, and we use them in salves. I feed them to the bunnies. I actually learned something from Patera when I got a bee sting. I chewed it up and made like a poultice and rubbed it on the bee sting, and that worked really well too. We have another weed that's similar to plantain, but you can tell the difference because on plantain the spines go straight. They go straight up, running parallel to the center spine. On the weed, they're going to come out at a diagonal. This is what the flower looks like. Along this trellis we planted peas and cucumber, lettuce, and kale. Cucumbers didn't make it, so I'm going to reseed them, I guess. Look at this, it's got a little pea shoot, guys. Look. That's so exciting. Yay! I've also got a bed of clover. No, I did not plant that, but I will harvest it for the rabbits. They like it. This is exciting to me. This helps me out a lot. So the day that I planted the lettuces in the garden by the trellis, by the onions, when I got done, I had a few lettuces left over that I didn't put anywhere, and I ran out of time. So I just put them on the ground right here by this fence. They're doing better than anything I planted out there in the garden. So it got me to thinking, because I've just been hardening off my plants in the grow room by opening the windows, and I decided that instead of doing that before I put stuff in the ground, I'm gonna just load it in cardboard boxes and come set it by this fence for a few days and let it harden off even more before I plant it in the ground and see if that makes a difference. Because it sure made a difference for these lettuces. Before we move down to the other end of the garden, there's one more thing I need to show you guys, because if I wasn't crazy in your eyes before, this might make me so. We went to get new tires for Chris's truck the other day, and they were selling cauliflower, $2 for a 4-pack. So I bought $10 worth. I bought 40, no, 20? Did I get 20? I thought I got 4. Did I get 20? How many did I get? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 20. I got 20 cauliflower plants. That's not as bad as I thought. I thought I had 40. This part of the garden was my 3 sisters' garden last year, and it's gonna hold probably some beans, probably some pumpkins, I think. I'm not sure exactly what yet. I bought some flowers. These are perennial flowers, but I'm telling you guys, this is like the softest stuff ever right here. It's amazingly soft. And then these are just some perennial flowers. I'm not sure where I want my little seating area in here yet. So I think my plan for now is to plant these in a lick tub and then maybe split them next year or something. So I can come in and have a nice, relaxing place to sit and contemplate in my garden. Do you guys see? Do you see my arches? I'm so excited. I'm gonna do my cucumbers, melons, squashes, and some of my pumpkins up on these arches, and I'm so excited about the way it looks. And there's not even anything planted here yet. It's pretty exciting. And I designed it, I don't know if you can see, but directly behind the center panel is where the compost bin is. So I have that center one set a little bit closer. So I say compost pen, compost bin, whatever you want to call it. Pen. you know, you don't want that compost running loose anywhere. Whatever. It's set, this panel set close to rest so I can get in there easy. It also will, it's visually attractive because the exterior ones are set back, and then I'm gonna have some more here and there, and I'm really excited about how pretty my garden is gonna look with everything growing. Thank you so much for hanging out with me in my garden today, and I'm recording everything that we harvest. So make sure you keep checking back to see just how much I grow in my garden this year. Whoa, out of my hair, bee. That bee, it's buzzing me.